Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, September 21st, and we are here trying to help you navigate the different issues that crop up in your financial life. And you know what? I know it's not just your financial life. It's your life. It's just that your finances do weave into your real life. And unfortunately, you can't just make a decision independent of your money. And that's why we are here to try to help you kind of bring your worlds together and figure out the best path forward for you, whatever decision you're facing. If you've got a question, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and you complete the form. If you want to join us on the air, you check that box off. And while you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. And also check out all the other content that lives on the site, the free stuff, the other podcasts, the radio show, the blog, the resources, some of my hits from recent CBS mornings shows. And you can also spend a few bucks. You can buy the book, The Great Money Reset, and you can subscribe to the Jill on Money live service. That's where you have quarterly access to live webinars. If you want to check out some of the great bonus content, wait until you see. And I say see because it's video. I just did a great interview with Diana Henriquez. She's the one who wrote that huge Madoff book, The Wizard of Lies. She's just written a new book. And I know this is like not kidding. It is the history of financial regulation. And it's so compelling. As Mark says, Diana is an amazing storyteller. And she has found a way to tell the story about how 4 specific characters came together in the 1930s to really change the way that we think about regulation and markets. It's really great. So you can only get to the interview and get behind the paywall if you pay us $35. Doesn't seem like a lot, but maybe it is to you. If it is, okay, don't do it. Not a problem. We're happy to have you join us here today. All right. And speaking about today, we are joined by listener Milena, who's on the line from Ohio. Hello, Milena. How are you? What can we do for you?
Hi, Jill and Mark. I listen every day, so I'm excited to get your expertise on a pension question that has come my way.
Okay, what's up?
So I have a previous employer who has offered me the opportunity of doing a lump sum pension payout versus just kind of keeping things as is. And so I guess I have questions around lump sum versus just keeping it as a pension annuity, essentially, when I hit full retirement age. And then if I do decide or opt for the pension payout option, are there some maximum contribution limits that I'm going to run up against for that as a rollover to my existing retirement accounts?
Interesting. Good question. And so you no longer have any pension benefit, or do you have another job with a pension benefit right now?
I don't. This is it. This is
This is your baby.
It's this like long ago little orphaned pension that hasn't been funded in a gazillion years, but it's out there.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 54.
And are you single, partnered, married?
Single.
Okay. And right now, how much money do you earn?
I'm currently $104,000, and then there's a bonus that floats between, I want to say, $15,000 to $20,000.
Okay, so you make about $120,000 a year, and do you contribute to a 401k right now?
I do.
Tell me about that. How much do you put in there?
Yeah, I'm maxing out at the $30,000 limit now.
Wow, that's a lot for $120,000.
Yeah, I'm living on very little.
Wow. Okay. How much money have you amassed in that 401k?
That 401k is currently sitting at $335.
Is that a traditional or a Roth?
It's traditional. It's all traditional.
What about other savings that you have had?
I also have a Roth IRA. I max that out every year. It's, I believe it's now $7,500 as of this year.
Yeah.
And so right now I've got about $30K in that. I have,
saver.
I've got, I wish I had been this way all along. I've really kind of come to it more recently in the last I want to say 4 to 5 years. You know how it is, the regret about not doing this earlier, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
make up for
yeah.
lost time.
Dude, you probably had a great time. Don't worry about it. You probably had a good time in your 20s and 30s. So the 401k traditional 335, the Roth IRA that has, you said 30 grand, you're putting 7,500 in now. What else do you have?
Let's see, I got 12K in I bonds when that was all the rage last year. Then I got 28K in a brokerage, 10K in an HSA. I'm maxing that out every year. And then
Great.
I've got 55,000 in savings, high yield savings and CDs.
Great. You said that you don't spend a lot of money. So
I don't.
tell us about how little you spend, not how much you spend. How little do you spend?
Probably living on around 40K a year, 40 to 45, something like that.
Wow,
Yeah, I mean, my
that's
take
great.
homes might be around, like around 4,200 after all these, deductions and taxes. And then I throw about 1,000 of that into either the brokerage or the savings. So,
So if your take home, I mean, you're probably living on less. You're probably living on, whatever. Let's just say 40. That's great. That's fantastic. 40 to 45 is great. And do you own a home or do you rent?
I am a renter.
And you want to stay a renter?
I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, it would be great, I think, to own a home. It's a little cost prohibitive right now, I feel like, and I'm not a real big fan of like what I hear about the maintenance costs and sort of that HOA that haunts you for the rest of your life, so you never really
Yes.
like don't have a
Yeah.
payment.
I know.
I don't really love that.
Mhm. I know that's like, and it's sort of out of your control. And it's a drag. I mean, how much is your rent right now?
Right now, it did go up. Like I was really, really fortunate that my rent did not go up for, I want to say 4 years in a row there. But this year it went up by 100. So, 1,400-ish, I think, is where it
I'm
is
going to
now.
ask the question Mark always likes to ask because we're going to be like New York centric for a minute. $1,400 a month. What can you get yourself? Because that is, one of those numbers like you're like, oh, I'm bummed. It went up $100 a month. I mean, I know that we're talking about totally different markets, but what can you get for your $1,400 a month? What's the size of your apartment?
It's about 800 square feet. It's got a den, a bedroom, living room,
Nice
and a
place. You like
kitchen.
it.
So it's not bad. I love it. It's got it's kind of really high ceiling, so loft, kind of loftish.
Oh man, let's go to Columbus, Mark. It's fantastic. $800, 800 square feet, $1,400 a month. This sounds good. So, all right, let's get back to your critical question that is on the table, the pension offer. So, what is the lump sum offer?
So they are offering me, I guess, the 118% of the value of the pension. So they're sort of juicing it up a little bit, and that would be $34,277.
Okay.
Versus they sort of gave me a table that breaks down depending on what age my payments begin, what my
Mm-hmm.
payment, like what my annuity would be for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely would not be taking this pre 65. So the age 65 monthly amount would be $433.16.
Do you have kids or survivors or anyone else in your life that you need to consider?
No, no dependents.
It's funny, like I get that they're juicing up the amount and it's not like the hugest amount of money. You know what I mean? Like to most people, they're like, just take the $34,000. What's the big deal? And why get involved with this whole thing? But it seems to me that if you leave it as is, you can basically get your money and recoup the cost of like taking it as is and not have the worry about investing it and having a little bit of cash flow. I mean, I might just leave that as is. What does your Social Security benefit look like?
I looked at that, I want to say a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they did some cost of living adjustments that I'm
Yep.
not as firmly in touch with, but I think it's 3,100-ish right now. If I
I
take
mean,
it at my FRT.
does it bother you that you would have this like this other thing that's coming in versus like having the money in an IRA and being able to manage it yourself? Like I'm inclined to leave it as is. What was your inclination?
Yeah, no, not at all. It doesn't bother me that it's kind of out there, separate. I think I was just trying to think of if there was an optimization strategy here because I was thinking, well, it's not growing in value. That payment will always be that same payment. And was there an opportunity to take it, invest it, and get more bang for my buck? Basically, it was kind of where my head was at.
Got it. And Mark, how are you? You want to weigh in on this?
I am 100% taking it as a lump sum and investing it. I was just playing with the numbers, and I'm just assuming, woman, long life expectancy. I'm just putting in 95 years. If she takes it at 65, the overall payout is going to be worth roughly around 150, 160 grand. If she takes $34,000 now and invests it for 40 years, like I said, 95, that's about 350.
All right. Mark just disproved me. I was sort of like, it's nice to have consistent income, but you know what? That's a better number. I like that. Now I'm going to change my mind because I have new facts. I think, as long as you don't mind investing it on your own and you get it invested. I mean, if it sits there in cash, that's not great. Okay. So that means you have to really do something with it. And if that's the case, then you never have to worry about is this pension funded? What's happening? See, I made a mistake. I was too quick to want to give you consistent income. But I think Mark's right. How much longer do you think you're going to be working?
I think 67, that's about 13 years. So I don't have plans to retire any earlier than that.
I think it's good. I think Mark's right. I think Mark is right. At this point, if you do that and you keep plugging money away into your retirement account and your Roth IRA, I mean, things are good. Now, Mark, are you going to ask about her 401k?
Roth?
Is there a Roth option?
There is a Roth option.
Yeah, I think I would switch to a Roth right now because you're in a really nice place in terms of, your income and you're comfortable. And I know you don't have a lot of deductions, but you're in a tax bracket that, your highest bracket is 24. I think that probably if we give you with a 120, the standard deduction is 13. You're mostly paying your tax in the 24% bracket. So I think it might be worth it to switch over to a Roth. You'll be happy that you paid that tax off. You will limit your required minimum distributions in the future. I think you'll be okay.
As far as your other question, if you take the lump sum, you'll roll that into a rollover IRA. That will have no impact on your contribution limits in terms of your other retirement accounts.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about. I was like, okay, if I've already almost reached, because we're pretty far into the year at this point, and I'm pretty close to my max, and I'm like, oh
no, because it's a rollover. It's not a contribution.
Right. It's called a direct rollover. Where do you have your Roth IRA right now?
That is with Vanguard.
So I would just go to Vanguard and open up a regular IRA account there, a rollover IRA account, and they can manage it for you. Do you work at a big company, medium, small?
Medium-ish, yeah.
Okay. It's worth asking your employer if they would take a direct rollover from another plan or not. If they will, then maybe just go directly into your 401k. You call it a day. If not, then you go to Vanguard. You open up your IRA rollover account. You let the old company know, I'm choosing the lump sum. Jill was a dope. She should have run the numbers before she spouted off. You're going to take that lump sum. It will go into the IRA rollover account. You will invest it, not like crazy, just a nice balanced account. And we go from there. How's that?
That's great. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. And one other question is that I'm just wondering, you have all this money that you're accumulating. Life is good. Do you have estate documents where someone's going to inherit all this money?
I did that a few years ago. I think I have everything except I think it's the power of attorney. I didn't do that yet.
All right. Do you have to see a family nearby?
Not in the same state, but still, have sister and my mother is quite a bit older. So my sister is kind of my beneficiary at this point.
Okay. All right. Makes sense to me. Okay. Now, one of the things that I always like to ask people who are like in fine financial shape, who don't make tons and tons of money. So how did you get on track with this? How'd you find religion?
I think it was kind of pandemic related, honestly. You had some spare time on your hands, and I was kind of just like, well, let me look at my life, and was looking at my finances. And then I started consuming a lot of financial information, like podcasts like this one, reading some books, and then realized, oh yeah, no, I could be doing so much more than I'm doing right now. And, pretty much changed everything top to bottom. So,
oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. You've done a fantastic job. And I very much appreciate that you're calling in and checking in with us. And it sounds like that weird time where that reflective moment kicked in. Well, you took advantage of it. So congratulations. It sounds like you're in great shape.
Thank you. I appreciate you both.
All right. Thank you. If you like this kind of conversation, if you would like this kind of conversation in your life, if you want to get on the line with us and really try to figure out, the conversation starts with, okay, lump sum versus annuity, right? Or stream of payment. But then it goes into what else is going on? And you hear us talk about these things. The reason we do that is that you are more than any specific decision that is confronting you at that moment, that your whole life has a lot to do with the things that you would like to do, how you live your life, the money you spend, do I want to rent? Do I want to own? All those things. And we can try to help you make sense of it all. So if that's something that you think would be beneficial to you, go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you would like to join us on the air. While you're there, don't forget, sign up for the free weekly newsletter, and you can subscribe to us wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please, if you wouldn't mind, leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.